It's been nearly 6 months since the crash of UPS Flight 2976 at Louisville's Muhammad Ali Airport. Today, council members hosted a ceremony to recognize the first responders who ran toward danger on that day. Wave News reporter Kirsten Foote has more.
More than 40 departments from across the state responded in some way after the crash of UPS Flight 2976 back in November. On Monday, members from Louisville Metro Council honored their heroic efforts.
Inside the Fairdale Christian Church, first responders from fire, EMS, and police, just to name a few, reunited to be thanked for their service on November 4th when UPS Flight 2976 crashed just after takeoff, killing 15 people, including 3 crew members and 12 others on the ground. Metro Council presented proclamations to those who assisted during the crash, like Anchorage Milltown Fire Department, Bluegrass Airport Fire Department, and Bullitt County EMS. Louisville Fire Chief Brian O'Neill says it was truly a team effort.
You had agencies such as Bardstown and Covington that also sent, foam trailers and trucks to help us out, and just all around the state, so many agencies that responded to make sure that we could control and mitigate that disaster and get everything up and running again.
A preliminary report shows the crash was caused when the left engine of the plane detached from the wing during takeoff. The NTSB will host a hearing on the crash May 19th and 20th. In Fairdale, Kirsten